1, 2, 1, 2.
I'm not concerned with originality, I'm concerned with what's good, you know. I sort of blink and sort of wonder, is it really happening, you know?
2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I always wanted to make it. It was one of my dreams, yeah. We've been rehearsing for the last sort of week or so. So I suppose I've chosen what songs sound kind of better out of all the stuff we've been rehearsing, really, most exciting at the time. But, well, you know, obviously people are going to sort of, majority of people might want to hear what you call like the hits or whatever, but you know, still have a sort of really popular tracks we play live, like Porcelain Gods is really popular live, that's just an album track. And we're doing a new song called Frightened tonight as well. So I don't know how I chose them, I just did. I do like a roof on my gig, you know, perhaps I'm old fashioned, but I do like to have a ceiling on it, or at least something to raise at the appropriate time. Festivals are kind of different because maybe it's because it's more of an event and an occasion that people are there, not just for one band, but they're just there anyway. So they can be good. But I much prefer playing to like maybe 2,000, 3,000 capacity, and just like theatres or halls, you know. And that's where I really feel I shine more. And I'm very critical. In fact, you know, I'm a bigger critic than any of these who write about me. But I do give myself a hard time, yeah, and I think that's a good thing. I think I'm always striving to improve and to get better. And I've still got something inside me that wants to be the best, you know, whatever that means. I think if nothing else, it just acts as a spur for yourself, really, just something to go for. And I've always been that kind of competitive, but only in that way, that I want to be the best at what I do and I want to be the best at my craft. And I've still got that, really, despite all my success and all that stuff.
1, 2, 1, 2.
It's a very difficult thing to give up, you know, once it's in your blood, like any drug, it sort of, you know, keeps you there. So, but I don't know, there's ways and means of doing it, really. I don't think I'll have an inflatable Elvis on stage with me or a great screen, do you know what I mean? I like to think I could still get away with it just in a 4-piece band, just straight and plain. Polydor dropped me in the first instance, but then I kind of woke up after that. And, you know, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, but it was probably the best thing that happened to me in a way, you know, to get dropped. And then just, it kind of opened my eyes a lot anyway, and it put me back on earth, I think, as well. I found myself without a record contract, without a publishing deal, without a band, without direction, you know, personal direction. So, but I'm glad as well. It was good for me, you know, it was a kick up the arse, and I needed it. It's just easy to get too comfy in all these things, you know, you get in a routine of, you know, every year's an album, every year's a tour, and da-da. And then all of a sudden it all stops, and then you miss it, you know, and I think it's a good thing, a good lesson in a way to learn. I always wanted to make it. It was one of my dreams, yeah. And I always wanted to be in a band, and I always wanted to make records since I can remember, really, since probably 8 or 9. So, but yeah, I did feel I was going to make it. I always had that belief, yeah. I didn't know to what extent, obviously, but I was, you know. And to be honest, you know, even just to make a record would be making it in my terms as well. And to be on Top of the Pops, you know, the first time was fantastic as well, and all those things. To be on the front cover of the NME, do you know what I mean? They were all things I believed in religiously as a child, you know.
Ready.
And then I kind of retracted a little bit when it got really big, and I kind of became very defensive, or at least built a kind of defensive wall around myself. That was my way of dealing with it. And I was always concerned not to get too caught up in the whole fame and star thing and all that rubbish, and just try and keep my sights on what was really important, that's the music, you know.
Wow.
Some songs just flow through you and just are as quick to write as they are to play or sing, and other songs take months and months and months and keep chipping away. And sometimes I start with a lyric, and sometimes I just start with a musical phrase or a riff or a chord pattern, so it's always different, you know? It's about finding your own potential in life, and it's never too late to start on a new course in life, and you know, I suppose it's supposed to be a positive song, you know, a song of strength, uplifting thing. I think it's a reference for everyone really, or at least certain points in your life anyway, when you sort of, you know, need to find yourself in a different position, need to, you know, find a different way forward, and finding out about yourself as well, you know, like I said, finding out your own potential, you know, there's what else you can do in life. I wouldn't say it's a direct biographical, you know, autobiographical thing at all. It's supposed to be more universal and general than that. I think it'd be far worse for me to stand up on stage playing Going Underground if my heart wasn't really in it. You know, it might be nice to relive old times, but, you know, if my soul was not in it, then I don't see the point really. Yeah. And if I can give you Sunflower or Wildwood or whatever on Brand New Start and my soul's in it and you're into it, isn't that better, you know? I'm a fan as well. I'll nick a few riffs here and there, but I would say I'm fairly original really. You know, if you stick around long enough, you become original anyway. It's like, you know, if you hear early Bob Dylan and hear Woody Guthrie, you know, you see where Bob Dylan nicked it, you know, lock, stock from Woody Guthrie. But, you know, 5 or 10 years down the line, he becomes something else, you know, becomes Bob Dylan. It's just a question of time and keep doing it, really. Carry on living as long as I can. Carry on making music as long as I can. Good music, as long as it is good, obviously. And to be happy and to enjoy it as much as I can, you know. They're my ambitions.